Senator Wong.
In relation to the suspension of standing orders that the Leader of the Government has moved, let's be clear what we're voting on right now. The Government is moving this motion so it can ram through its extreme anti-worker legislation. That's what's happening. This bill doesn't apply to business, it doesn't apply to the banks, it doesn't apply to Angus Taylor, it doesn't apply to Senator Cash. It only applies to working people and their representatives. It is an all-out assault on workers' ability to organise, run their own union and determine who leads them. It is an attack on nurses, midwives, teachers, police officers and their representatives. You know, this bill has been called the Ensuring Integrity Bill. You know what it is? It's just like work choices, and I was here for the work choices legislation, and you lot haven't changed. You lot haven't changed since then. You don't care less about integrity. You want to hide information from the people of Australia. You're a government that is loose with the truth, and I tell you what, oh boy, are you a government that doesn't like scrutiny. I mean, we've seen Angus Taylor. What has he blocked? Blocked FOI access to 200 documents and refused to answer questions. And if you are serious about integrity, we might have some legislation for a National Integrity Commission. Exactly. But no, we've got a motion on this bill. And what about the Banking Royal Commission? Last year, big banks made billions of dollars from ordinary Australians by routinely breaching the law, but you're not here today to crack down on lawlessness in the banks. You're not here to implement the recommendations of the Royal Commission. In fact, after 299 days, you've implemented 6 out of 76 recommendations of the Royal Commission you were dragged kicking and screaming to support. In fact, this government, which talks about integrity, is trying to ram through anti-worker legislation in a week when it was revealed that Westpac breached Australian money laundering laws 23 million times. 23 million, and failed to act on customers using its service to purchase child exploitation materials. But is this your priority? No, you know what the Prime Minister says? He says that lawlessness, 23 million breaches of the law and abetting child abusers, that's a matter for the board. But you want to use this chamber and the Parliament of Australia to expedite a bill that could deregister unions representing midwives, flight attendants and firefighters for 3 paperwork breaches. 3 paperwork breaches. You know, you lot haven't changed since we debated work choices in here. It's the same anti-worker ideology. The same anti-worker ideology, the same attack on working conditions, confirmed today when Senator Payne refused to rule out a watering down of unfair dismissal laws, refused to rule out a watering down of the Better Off Overall test. I mean, that clearly should demonstrate to everybody what this bill that is being rammed through as a consequence of this motion is all about. It is all about trying to take out the union movement so you can go after working people and their conditions. And out of the mouths of the Prime Minister and Minister Payne, we saw that today. Let's not forget that this government is trying to ram through anti-worker legislation in a week where it's revealed that 1 in 5 workers in construction, healthcare, retail, accommodation and food services industries have been a victim of wage theft. But are you going to do something about that? About the $1.35 billion in workers' wages underpaid each year? No. You want to attack the organisations that help people get this money back. They're your priorities. It says everything about this government, everything about the Liberal Party, that the passage of this anti-worker bill is your #1 priority. This is a government with no plans and no principles. The only thing they are united on, the only thing they are capable of, is a relentless political attack on working people and their representatives. And this has been the way this coalition, this Liberal Party has operated for decades, and it is the same ideology and the same agenda as work choices. The motion and this bill are about whether you think that there should be one standard for workers and their representatives and another standard for everyone else. This government, Mr President, they do not care about integrity. This government does not care about lawlessness and it does not care about workers. We will be opposing this motion and the bill.
Senator Wong.